military installations and major cities are primary targets. Seek immediate shelter and avoid traveling unless absolutely necessary.
Corner store red and blue light flashing. Thugs in the alley, yeah, dreams they crashing. Politicians in suit, pocket they rackets. Pop off the paint, turn your block into a casket. Younger with a strap, no hope, just rage. Put you in the system, get you stuck in the cage. Taxing your soul, leave you stuck in the hood while we slinging this truth, and you know it's all good. CIA dope, so they flooding the streets. Lock you in chains, leave you dead in the heat. War crime, yeah, they call it control. See, I came from the gutter, so I know what they stole. Got the plug on the line, but the feds tapping phones. Drones overhead, feeling like a war zone. Mayor talking peace, but the tanks roll deep. Say he went to prison, but he came out in a sheet. Hustle all day, gotta eat, no choice. Screaming war crimes inside the Rolls Royce. Bombing our enemies, calling it policy. Keep the trap booming, yeah, that's a prophecy. Midnight rage while I'm kicking down the door. Jack boy blues while running up the score. Stacking up this paper while you out here staying broke. Funding all these wars while I'm laughing at these jokes.
War crime, blood on the pavement, trapped like dodging enslavement. Yeah. War crime, blood on the pavement, trapped like dodging enslavement. Yeah. War crime, blood on the pavement, trapped like dodging enslavement. Yeah. War crime, blood on the pavement, trapped like dodging enslavement.
Dice roll fade, yeah, spin it on the block. Gun pops, watching the suit in the Glock. Legislates the blade, cut the port to the bone. Building an empire while I'm in my zone. Hustle in my veins, dodging sets that they trap. From the corner to the capital, we cashing that debt. War crimes, yeah, see the blood on the flag. While the preacher selling hope, I'm just getting to the bag. Whipping work overseas, but the feds wanna snitch. Global game dirty, yeah, they chasing all the rich. War crimes painted on the walls of the trap. Spit the truth in the booth, another X on the map. Street life figures out here moving with the pack. Fed circles like vultures slipping in the trap. White House glowing, but it's built on the scars. Dealing war crimes while I sing you to the stars. Casting my vote, turn the block to a stage. Bullet is a ballot, yeah, writing our page. War crime stacking from the hood to the lost. Out in these streets, they calling me a god. Young and on the heat, but the cold's in the eyes. Politicians out here selling all these lies. Trapping through the top, rewriting all the scripts. Money and the power, yeah, it's time to get rich.
War crime, blood on the pavement, trapped like dodging enslavement. Yeah. War crime, blood on the pavement, trapped like dodging enslavement.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen.
War crime, blood on the pavement, trapped like dodging enslavement.
Hope you all are doing all right. Let's get this show started, ladies and gentlemen. We don't have all morning, ladies and gentlemen.
You know
we can't
turn the mic up.
Yeah.
I got a set thing.
Let's go, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get this show started. All right, ladies and gentlemen, you know what we came to do. Let's go, ladies and gentlemen.
It's deja vu when I'm running up these racks. I'm like the Terminator screaming.
I'll be back.
It's deja vu when I'm out here flying first class.
It's like every week I gotta take out the trash. I'm on top of my game, head of the class. You can tell that I made it, look at my grass.
Cars in the garage with tanks full of gas.
I might not have tanks full of gas, right? We might not have that anymore, ladies and gentlemen.
In my living room screaming how we made it. This is how it's supposed to happen when you get your famous. The algorithm turned me to a million.
Little Hawk, my brother.
I guess we going viral cause my Zodiac. I got all these numbers on my spreadsheet.
Yeah, I do.
Benjamin Franklin is my basket. And if they is my ex, that mean they left me.
They don't get replies if they text me. Don't do it.
I say it with my chest cause I mean it. Got a lot of confidence and I'm it.
Here it goes, ladies and gentlemen. Listen to Ladybug. This is Ladybug yesterday.
I'll tell you what, I haven't gone into Zeus's live in a couple of days.
Yes.
Shit was
Keep it
radical.
clean, man.
Very radical.
It was horrible.
Uh-huh.
Like Zeus has gone way off the rails.
It's like deja vu.
You think I'm off the rails? Did you see Ladybug yesterday?
It's like deja vu. It's like deja vu.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Happy Friday. Yes, thank you. It's Friday the 13th. Thank you, everyone. Thank you. Thank you. You all must be happy to see me because I'm happy to see you. Sneaky Fingers. Yeah. Maddie. Sugar Mama, all of you. Hobby. All right. Once again, we are gathered back in the Thunderdome. I'm your host. I'm your pilot. And once again, we got to do the real work that it takes to save the United States of America, honestly, from Donald Trump and his legion of MAGA demons, who we all understand very plainly now are hell-bent on destroying the United States of America. Actually, they're hell-bent on destroying the world, right? And we do it one show at a time, just like this. And what we try to do is decipher and go through as many things as we can right, to help debunk some of the lies that this administration continues to spoon feed the American people in an attempt to cover up all of the dirty, disgusting, filthy deeds, as well as crimes that they have committed and continue to commit, right? And we also specialize in making Trump supporters they crash out over here, which is fine because they want to make it about everything other than what's really going on in the world right now, because they have a very, very difficult time understanding how they've gotten themselves in a bit of a predicament, so to speak, as it relates to just their total lives being failures. These are a bunch of failures. These people that voted for Donald Trump, they're a bunch of failures. Some of them are waking up as a result of shows like this, but a lot of them, like Ladybug, they're not going to wake up. They're just going to one day lift their eyes up, and one day they're going to go, oh my God, how did I end up in hell? Right? And so before we get started, let's take care of some very important housekeeping items. For those of you, this might be your first time tuning in to a show like this. I go by the name Zeus, or some like to say Triple H. And why do they call me Triple H? Well, it's quite simple. The first H is because I am honest. I'm the most honest person on social media, hands down. The second H is because I'm humble. I'm the most humble person on social media, hands down too. But then the last and the final H, ladies and gentlemen, which is arguably one of the most important H's of them all. It is truly because I am and will always remain, you've guessed it, the most handsome. All right. Ways to support the platform. Obviously, you tap that screen, you share the live, you can send support through these gifts if you want to. But the main thing that I require of all of you is to take the information that's shared on this platform, look into it yourself, and be a beacon of light in whatever spaces that you are occupying, because what we must do is do every single thing we can in our power to bring Donald Trump's poll numbers back down to where they belong, which is in hell. And I do that on this show very well, actually. I do it so well, people don't like me, but it's not about that. I don't want people that are Trump supporters to like me, right? Because these are some of the sickest, evilest, and most corrupt people we've ever seen. These people, if you understand MAGA, if you didn't understand them, just know this. What does MAGA represent? MAGA represents, number one, misogyny and racism, right? We already covered that. You go a little further to the right. What do you get? You get it to sedition. And you know what they did on January 6th, right? Because these people are un-American and they hate themselves and they hate their country. And then you go a little further to the right and you get it to that Epstein territory, right? That guardian of P3DOs. That's what GOP stands for, in case you didn't know. Guardian of P3DOs. Yeah. And so what I say is this: if you are a Trump supporter and you struggle with reality, right, and you hate hearing us share the fact that we all hate Donald Trump. Oh, right, I shouldn't have said it. No. Do we hate Donald Trump over here, ladies and gentlemen? Because we had a conversation about that yesterday. Do we hate Donald Trump over here, ladies and gentlemen? I just got to ask the audience. Do we hate him in the audience? Let me ask the audience. Good morning, Ange. Look at that. All right. All right. And so I'm the voice of a lot of these people in the chat, ladies and gentlemen. But I'm the nice guy, right? I would say most people in the audience who listen to me and they've been following me, they agree with me around 99.9% of the time, all right? But there's always room for them to disagree. That's totally fine, because one thing about us Democrats that I think makes us one of the most amazing group of people is we understand how to disagree respectfully, but we all understand how important it is to do the work we're doing to save this country. And we're not going to be swayed. And so what I'll say is this. I usually say, are there any Trump supporters out here? And then I play this part. But what I'll say is this. Ladybug, do me a favor. Leave my show right now, man, because I thought about what you did yesterday. And I said, wow, you really tore your draws. You really tore your draws on my show yesterday, Ladybug. Do us all a favor and leave my show right now, because I promise you, I'm going to make you very uncomfortable in here with your hateful self, with your hateful behind, the way you talked about my mama. There's just some things I can't forgive, all right? So leave right now, because it's going to get very... And actually, all of Ladybug's friends. And then, who else did I want to say? Christina, I see that you're taking screenshots of Big Zeus and posting them on your profile to try to get some sort of engagement. These are some certified lunatics. Leave right now, because I'm going to make it very uncomfortable in here this morning for you. I promise. It's Friday the 13th, right? What did you expect? Leave right now, because it's going to get very, very uncomfortable in here. I promise you it will. But you don't got to take my word for it. Listen to your leader.
If you're not happy here, then you can leave. As far as I'm concerned, if you hate our country, if you're not happy here, you can leave. If you're not happy in the U.S., if you're complaining all the time, very simply, you can leave. You can leave right now. Come back if you want. Don't come back. It's okay too. But if you're not happy, you can leave.
All right. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to begin going through some of the things that I think we need to cover. I mean, I'll be honest with you. I did my show yesterday. It was an abbreviated show. Then I had to go out and take care of some real certified official kingdom business. But I was keeping my eye on the news. So many bad things happened yesterday, ladies and gentlemen. I don't think I'll be able to cover them. But all I can say is there are consequences to elections, right? And what we are experiencing in this nation, in the world, is what happens when you vote for the most evil and corrupt and incompetent fools on the face of the earth. What do you get when you do that, ladies and gentlemen? You know what? And I said, you know what? How did this all start? And believe it or not, ladies and gentlemen, somebody sent this to me. They'll tell you how this all started. Could you believe this, ladies and gentlemen? Could you believe this, that these two people are running the United States of America? And I said, I've never seen anything like this in my life. This is old stuff. But these are the two demons running the United States. Listen to Donald Trump and little Marco back in the day going at it.
Builds the wall the way he built Trump Towers, he'll be using illegal immigrant labor to do it.
Earl Thomas. You are Ladybug, Earl Thomas. You owe us an apology. I see you in the chat. Earl Thomas is Ladybug, ladies and gentlemen. Do what you wish to her, chat.
So cute. Such a cute soundbite.
But no, it's not a soundbite. It's a fact. Yeah, again, go online and Google it. Donald Trump, Polish workers. You'll see it. The second thing about the trade war, I don't understand, because your ties and the clothes you make is made in Mexico and in China. So you're going to be starting a trade war against your own ties and your own suits. All right.
So this is Marco Rubio totally destroying Donald Trump, by the way, ladies and gentlemen. But these are also the same two people who are running the United States.
Right, it's a fact. Yeah, again, go online and Google it. Donald Trump, Polish workers. You'll see it. The second thing about the trade war, I don't understand, because your ties and the clothes you make is made in Mexico and in China. So you're going to be starting a trade war against your own ties and your own suits. All right.
You know what? Because
why don't you make
they
them in
devalue
America?
their currencies.
No.
They devalue their currencies.
Well, then make them in America.
That makes it impossible. Well, you don't know anything about business. You lose
well,
on
make
everything
them in America.
You don't know anything about it because you're a lousy
Well, I don't know
businessman.
anything about bankrupting four companies.
No,
You bankrupted four companies.
You know what?
I don't know anything about.
And you know what?
Starting a
That's
university.
called-
That was a fake university.
First of all,
a fake university.
That's called. Okay,
there are people that borrow $36,000 to go to
Mr.
Trump University, and they're suing him now. $36,000 to go to a university.
By the way,
that's a fake school.
And by the way,
and you know what they got? They got to take a picture with a cardboard cutout of Donald Trump.
And by the way,
that's what they got for the $36,000.
I want to move on. They actually did a very good job, but I've won most of the lawsuit.
Senator, I want to bring in
I
want to bring in my colleague Maria Celeste.
Excuse me, hey, Wolf, let me ask you, am I allowed to respond to this?
You're allowed. You've been responding.
Okay, well, no, I haven't. I really haven't.
He's talked through the whole thing.
Here's the guy that buys a house for $179,000. He sells it to a lobbyist who's probably here for $380,000, and then legislation is passed. You tell me about this guy. This is what.
Hey, Ladybug, you want to get up here and apologize? Because that's the only way out. Hold on, ladies and gentlemen. I got to take care of this. Ladybug, get your behind up here real quick. Because what you did yesterday was a sin. Ladybug, you know better, huh? All right. Mods, do what you need to Ladybug. I'm so sorry, but she owes us an apology.
We're gonna
Here's
have
the guy that inherited $200 million. If he hadn't inherited $200 million, you know where Donald Trump would be right now? Selling watches in Manhattan.
That is so wrong. We'll work on that. I took $1 million and I turned it into $10 billion.
What?
I borrowed $1
Then
million.
release the tax return so we can see how much money he makes.
$1 million. I turned it into $10 billion, more than $10 billion.
As soon as I step foot into the Oval Office.
I have to say, he lied this time. He lied. 100%. 100%.
You lied about the Polish workers.
Yeah.
You lied to the students of Trump University.
Let Senator Cruz
Oh, he lied 38 years ago. All right, I guess there's a statute of limitation on lies. Here's what you didn't hear in that answer, and this is important, guys. This is an important thing. What is your plan? I understand the lines around the state, whatever that means. This is not a game where you draw maps
and you
around.
Don't know what it
What
means.
is your plan?
That's the problem.
What is your plan on health care? You don't have a plan.
The biggest problem he
I'll
doesn't
give
know.
him 1 minute of
The
my
biggest
time to tell me
problem
his
he's
plan.
got is he
What's his
doesn't know.
plan?
You know, I watched him melt down 2 weeks ago with Chris Christie. I got to tell you, the biggest problem he's got is he really doesn't know about the lines. The biggest thing we've got, and the reason we have no competition, is because we have lines around the state, and you have essentially
we already mentioned that as part of my
monopolies in the
plan. I know what that is. But what else is part of your plan? So your only thing is to get rid of the lines around the states. What else is part of your health care plan?
What the lines around the states mean.
That's your only
plan. And it was
plan.
almost done. No. You know
All
what
right,
that does?
I'll
that
give him
brings
time
in,
to mind. He can tell us his plan.
Excuse me. That
What's your
brings
plan?
in competition. When you get rid of the lines, it brings in competition. So instead of having one insurance company taking care of New York or Texas, you'll have many. They'll compete, and it'll be a beautiful thing.
Right. And so that's the only part of the plan? Just the lines, the interstate competition?
No, the nice part about the plan, you'll have many different plans. You'll have competition. You'll have so many different plans.
But now he's repeating himself.
No, I'm not repeating. No. I don't repeat myself.
You don't repeat yourself.
Here's the guy who repeats himself.
You repeat yourself every day.
I watched him, talking about repeating, I watched him repeat himself 5 times 4 weeks ago. And
I saw you repeat yourself 5 times 5 seconds ago.
I watched him.
What a circus.
Meltdown on the stage like I've never seen anybody. I thought he came out of the swimming pool.
I said, well,
let's talk about your plan.
Himself every night. It says 5 things. Everyone's dumb. He's going to make America great again. We're going to win, win, win. He's winning in the polls. And the lines around the state. Every night. Same thing.
I tell the truth. I tell the truth.
You will have time to respond if you would just let Mr. Trump respond to what you just posed to him.
He's going to give us his plan now, right?
If you could talk a little bit more about your plan. I know you talked about the interstate.
We're going to have many different plans because there's going to be competition.
Said it again.
There's going to be competition. There is going to be competition among all of the states and the insurance companies. They're going to have many, many different plans.
Is there anything else you would like to add to that?
No, there's nothing to add. What's to add?
See that, ladies and gentlemen? You see that, ladies and gentlemen? This is why Ladybug is in my chat. This is why she's crashing out. Because what Donald Trump has done is he's hit the jackpot in terms of monopolizing on the incompetence of his supporters. Did you know that, to the Trump supporters? Did you know Donald Trump really doesn't think you're intelligent? And look at that. The way little old Marco Rubio beat him up, Donald Trump rewarded him by making him wear those ridiculous clown shoes. And now these two are the ones that has dragged this country into a war. And this is after they lied to you and said, we would never do this. Remember everything Donald Trump ran on? He was going to drill, baby, drill, and bring the gas prices down. He's going to cut your utility bills in half, cap your credit card interest. Remember that, all those lies? But what we're seeing right now is how easy it is for Donald Trump to lie to every single one of you supporters out there. And Marco Rubio, back when it was going against him, at least he was exposing it. But guess what? You still went and voted for this demon. And that's why we got to do what we got to do right now. Ladies and gentlemen, join me in once again warming up the lake of fire. This is for all the Trump supporters that are still supporting evil and incompetence at the level we're seeing. Do us all a huge favor and go straight to hell. Let me ask the audience, does anyone feel safer now that Donald Trump is the president right now? W. Rick, who feels safe? Do we feel safer now because Donald Trump is the president? No way. W's in the chat for all of you. Yes, thank you. Yes, Mr. Incognito. Get registered now, all right, to vote. All right, make sure you get out there and check your registration at least 6 months before the elections. W's in the chat for Mr. Incognito. Except for MAGA. MAGA, don't you dare get out there and vote, because you going into the voting booth is probably one of the most un-American things you could ever do. Because you know what? How do you go and vote for Donald Trump when he says this about you?
You're either stupid or you hate the country.
W Zeus, all right? And a lot of us say it's both. But we're going to prove to you that you're not safer under Donald Trump, MAGA.
The response to the incident leading to a heightened level of alert in this country. Let's get right to our chief investigative correspondent, Aaron Katersky, tonight. Aaron? From the moment the U.S. launched missiles on Iran, David, we've been hearing concerns from law enforcement officials about possible violence here at home. And
you hear this? So he launched these boom booms at Iran, MAGA. And now we're experiencing all kinds of, you heard what he said, violence here on the domestic front. And we don't have anyone to help us. If only, let me stop this for a second. If only we had a warning. If only we had a warning, ladies and gentlemen. I feel like MAGA, you all had a warning. Let me see if I can get it. Oh, I think I found it. I think we did have a warning, MAGA. I think there was a point where one of your own actually gave us a warning. Do we all know who this is? Do we all recognize who that is? Charlie Kirk. Charlie Kirk ain't here. Why? Because Donald Trump didn't save him. Simple. Candace Owens is exposing that. W to Candace Owens. And I'm only doing that because she's a necessary force right now in order to bring down this demonic force that's going on. But listen to what your own says.
Make sure we don't go to war against Iran, which would be a profound mistake for our country. So that's a really, really important thing. Drill, baby, drill domestically. Peace in the Middle East, peace with Russia, Ukraine. You'll see gas prices go down to $30 a barrel. Charlie, what does that mean? $1.75 a gallon. That's what it means, okay? Make sure we don't go to...
No, DJ, you're a POS. This is what Charlie Kirk said. You can't beef with me, DJ. This is what Charlie Kirk just said. You're getting triggered? Ladies and gentlemen, let's send DJ straight to hell. And take Ladybug with you. See, I was trying to be nice this morning. Listen to what...
Silence! You.
Listen to what Charlie Kirk said.
Damon.
Make sure we don't go to war against Iran, which would be a profound mistake for our country.
A profound mistake. That's what Charlie Kirk said. You don't got a problem with me. You got a problem with yourself.
So that's a really, really important thing. Drill, baby, drill domestically. Peace in the Middle East, peace with Russia, Ukraine. You'll see gas prices go down to $30 a barrel. Charlie, what does that mean? $1.75 a gallon. That's what it means, okay?
$1.75 a gallon. Are we getting gas, ladies and gentlemen, at $1.75 a gallon today? Are we getting gas at $1.75 a gallon today? You know what's even worse? I'll tell you what's worse. Today, this morning, our Secretary of War Crimes, in the middle of all of this chaos, decided to hold another press conference for his dear leader because his dear leader is freaking out. He's panicking. How do we end up in a situation now where I'm actually worse than Joe Biden? This is where Donald Trump is at mentally. And midterms are coming, and I'm about to get clobbered like you wouldn't believe. They're not even going to pass the Save America Act. Everybody that I thought was going to be for me is actually telling people out there, like Nick Fuentes, vote blue. Why? Because we want what? Affordability, but most importantly, we want accountability. We want these folks who are covering up for the Epstein files. We want these folks that are jacking up our gas prices. We want these guys who are lying to the American people about the number of casualties that the American men and women who are serving this country are suffering right now in Iran. We want these folks held accountable. And so that's the energy right now. And then you wake up this morning, and I listened to what Pete Hegseth had to say, and Chairman Raisin Kane, but there was one part that they talked about this morning, and I said, this is it. I just can't take it anymore. It's when they were questioned how many men and women in uniform have honestly lost their life. And we're gonna watch what Pete Hegseth does. I call him Whiskey Pete. You know who he is. But this is an alcoholic as far as I'm concerned for educational purposes only. Listen to what he says.
There, green jacket.
Mike Bresch with the Washington Examiner. How many American casualties have there been, and where were the American service members when they were injured?
I mean, did you see this? Pete, you are the Secretary of Defense, or as you call it, the Secretary of War, which I say really is the Secretary of War Crimes. And you deferred the answer? You couldn't be straight up with the men and women in uniform? You couldn't be straight up with the American people? You're all tough talking about all the pain you've inflicted on the people of Iran, but you can't tell us what your incompetence has resulted in as it relates to our men and women in uniform. He should be removed right now for this. This is definitely, ladies and gentlemen, something to remember.
Mike Bresch with the Washington Examiner. How many American casualties
can't answer
have
it.
there been, and where were the American service members when they were injured?
I mean, it's a bunch of return to duty. So we've had the large majority have gone in for some medical treatment and return to duty. We've had in Kuwait, Jordan, down across the southern flank a little bit, a variety of places, most from one-way attack strikes.
But I want to clarify that. I think what we've tried to do here.
Oh, now you want to jump in?
Clarify those numbers.
Now you want to jump in?
KIA or WIA wounded. Be more clear about that because the overwhelming majority, almost 90%, thank God, are returned to duty. Minor injuries returned to duty, and so that number can look a certain way, and our job is to add some fidelity to it.
That number. This is what he said. That number can look a certain way. Our job is to add some fidelity to it.
Return to duty, and so that number can look a certain way, and our job is to add some fidelity to it.
What does that mean? What does that mean? I'll tell you what it means. It means we have an incompetent administration leading this country down the path of destruction, placing the lives of our servicemen and women in danger on a regular basis, all for clicks and views. No plan. Charlie Kirk said, don't do it, and you went and did it. And this is why I got to do what I got to do once again. You're not mad at me, Ladybug, DJ. You're not mad at me, I promise you, because I have no control over you. You've never met me. I have no control. I don't have the ability to influence the levers of power in the United States at all. But you know who you're mad at? You're mad at yourselves. Because you can lie to yourself, or you can lie to us, I should say. But you can't really lie to yourself. And you know right now, all of you look like a bunch of fools. Like a bunch of fools. Imagine you have to run around and live with these people. You know, they could be in relationships, and they looked credible when Donald Trump won the election, right? Oh, the house dynamics and stuff like that. All of that changed. You look like you knew what you were talking about when Donald Trump won. But then it's been 1 year, and you're catching hell everywhere you go, especially when you go to that gas station, huh? Because you actually thought Donald Trump was a good thing for America, but now you're paying in ways you just can't imagine. Explain to me why you think it's acceptable to be in a forever war. Explain to me why you think higher gas prices is actually a good thing. Donald Trump actually went on social media yesterday and he said, we need higher prices for oil because that means the United States is making money. Off of who? Oh, me. Off of you. And this is right after he was doing it with the terrorists. We can't catch a break out here. Oh, but don't worry. You got a couple extra $1,000 in your so-called tax return. Well, he's just taken that already. He's taken that money back. Whatever you got in your taxes, you're going to get that right back to Donald Trump when you go to the gas station. Ladies and gentlemen, join me in warming up the lake of fire. Because what I have to do is expose to these Trump supporters how pathetic they really are. Join me in sending these demons straight to hell.
Silence, you MAGA demon.
And that's a huge W, Zeus. Now, this video has been circulating on the internet for a couple of days, but we haven't brought it up in the kingdom. But it brings me joy to listen to it. It does. Because This is the point. This point right here, whether it's Snuggles, Ladybug, DJ, and the Russian Bears, I know you will be at this point too. This is a Trump supporter. You all seen this guy who says he misses his Uncle Joe. Joe meaning Joe Biden. Let's listen to him give up the ghost. And this is a huge W for Zeus.
President Trump in the last election, he promised to bring down prices. What do you make of that campaign promise?
He did vote. He said he'd have gas under $3, and now it's right at $5. And I mean, honestly, it's something that he stole from somewhere. And now we're at what, $5 a gallon?
Let's unpack what this man just said. So we stole Venezuela's oil. How can we be blessed as a nation if we're running around stealing other countries' resources? We can't be blessed under these conditions. And then add insult to injury, the person running the country is convicted, hasn't repented, an adjudicated rapist, and is all over the Epstein files. We can't be blessed as a country under these conditions. Anybody that has read the Bible, they know that that doesn't work together. But this guy right here seems to be giving us the information we need to let us know he's truly at a place of understanding.
He's saying about for our safety, leave somebody alone, they won't bother you.
He said that the small increase in prices is for safety. I guess, one, do you feel more safe in this country right now? And two, is it worth the price of gas? Is that safety worth it?
A small increase on prices, it's over $1 more than what it was. It was almost at $2 and something cents. He was bragging the other day on news, 190 or 290 somewhere. It's $5.50 a gallon. We don't run off of hopes and dreams. And as far as being safe, this point in time, anybody can do anything. So as far as safety, he ain't doing nothing for my safety.
Is there anything else you want to say about the price of gas, about the cost of living, about the experience you're going through right now?
I would just wish he'd keep up on his campaign promise and say he was going to put it under $3. He'd end that war so fast. But here it is, 5 years later, helping his buddy out get his more money. And then never mind charging us Americans all sorts of money for fuel that you just stole from Venezuela.
Do you regret your vote right now?
Well, between him and her, I thought he was the better choice. But honestly, I miss my Uncle Joe.
Go ahead. Let me go ahead and play that for the devils in the background who are crying right now, crashing out. But DJ's going to be here. Snuggles is going to be here. Wild Man's going to be here. Eventually, you will be here. Now, you got a different tolerance for pain. I understand it. So some of you haven't made it here yet. But let me play that again because it soothes my soul to hear him say that.
And then never mind charging us Americans all sorts of money for fuel that you just stole from Venezuela.
Do you regret your vote right now?
Well, between him and her, I thought he was the better choice. But honestly, I miss my Uncle Joe.
I miss my Uncle Joe. I miss my Uncle Joe.
Because, I mean, yeah, there was a lot of craziness going on, but it was a whole lot calmer than this. It didn't affect my day-to-day life. I was a nobody, and I was balling then. Now, I couldn't even tell you. I couldn't even show you $5 in my pocket.
Wow. Can't even show you. Can't even show $5 in his pocket. And yet and still, MAGA, the hardcore MAGA, the ones that are at the bottom of the barrel, they will somehow get up on social media. Listen, this guy right here, you should be happy you got that $5 in your pocket because we stopped Iran from getting access to those boom booms. Aren't you happy? And you're sitting here saying to me, we went 47 years and they didn't do anything. But now we're at this point and I don't got any money. How can I even live? You might as well have dropped the boom boom on me now because if all I got is $5, game's over. See, this is what I'm saying. You can lie to us, but you can't lie to yourselves. And I right now, This is what I think is ultimately necessary in order for things to change, to happen. Every Trump supporter is going to have to suffer. And we could get out of the way because we see it coming and the impact won't be as bad. But this is somebody who really tried to trust in Donald Trump, right? Trust in Trump. But once you get down to $5, you know what you look like when you only got $5 in your pocket? You ever seen a wolf with a wounded jaw? Have you ever seen a wolf with a wounded jaw trying to eat? It's nasty. It's nasty, right? Just imagine a wolf out in the wild with a wounded jaw trying to eat. It's a nasty thing. But that's what every single Trump supporter looks like right now. And so while they're in that situation, you know what I'm going to do? Ladies and gentlemen, let me warm up this lake of fire. Because a hard head makes for a soft behind. And somebody has to go to hell. And it ain't me, it's you, MAGA. Ladies and gentlemen, join me in sending these demons straight to hell.
Silence, you MAGA demon.
And that's a huge W, Zeus. But remember, MAGA, remember this, right? Remember,
you're going to be so proud of your country if I get in. You're going to be so proud of your president, and I don't care about that. But you are going to be so proud of your country because we're going to turn it around and we're going to start winning again. We're going to win so much. We're going to win at every level. We're going to win economically. We're going to win with the economy. We're going to win with military. We're going to win with health care and for our veterans. We're going to win with every single facet. We're going to win so much, you may even get tired of winning. And you'll say, please, please, it's too much winning. We can't take it anymore. Mr. President, it's too much. And I'll say, no, it isn't. We have to keep winning. We have to win more. We're going to win more. We're going to win so much.
how many of y'all believe that out there? How many of you guys all believe, how many of you believe that we're winning right now? Who believes that we're actually winning right now in the United States of America? Raise your hand if you think we're winning right now. You see how my critics and my detractors, they silence themselves? They don't want to get up here and actually talk about what's really going on. They want to get up here and talk to me about how they feel. I don't care how you feel. The world isn't fair. What I want to know is, how are you winning? And I don't want to hear, because, I go on the X, and you should see me. I'm on X, and every time I post, I make sure I always remind MAGA, this is your fault. And they got all kinds of ways to try to insult you and discourage you, but I don't even do it. I just sit there and I lay into them. You find out that we're selling, for instance, we found out we're giving Russia a waiver for the oil. I reminded MAGA, I said, think about this. You're getting screwed at the pump, right? And now you have to come to the understanding that you're actually financing Russia to destroy the United States at the pump. Totally cooked. Oh my God. Oh, gifting was suspended. Look at that. Oh, TikTok, come on, don't do that. Okay, ladies and gentlemen. At least it's not a normal. Okay, don't do that, TikTok. You shouldn't do that to Big Zeus TikTok. All right, they're just trying to learn. These people are trying to learn. Okay, I'll pull it off. I'll go through my next part. So basically what I was saying is, every chance you get, make sure you remind MAGA that they created these conditions. All right, because it's something about making them see that really sends them over the edge. This has nothing to do with Joe Biden. This is everything to do with MAGA and their incompetence. And so here we go again, ladies and gentlemen. MAGA, look at what you did. Look at what you did. Hold on.
Gas prices have now gone up almost every day for the last 2 weeks, and the Trump administration is scrambling to try to blunt the pain here at the pump. In a big win for Russia, Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent says that the U.S. will temporarily lift sanctions and allow countries to buy Russian oil.
You think Joe Biden would have done this? You think Joe Biden would have done this? And MAGA, I think you need to go look up something. I was talking to someone about this yesterday, ladies and gentlemen, and I wanted to say this to MAGA. You ever heard of this thing called the art of war? All right, and these are the things Donald Trump failed to do before he decided to get into a war Did he subdue the enemy without fighting? You know, I was telling somebody, I said, what's the best way to win a fight? What's the answer? Don't get into one, right? Because you're guaranteed to survive. Did you know that? If you know how to mentally defeat someone, you don't got to get into the fight. You don't got to waste any resources, and you're going to still come out a strong person. But what did Donald Trump, foolish Donald Trump, do? He failed to subdue the enemy without fighting. Listen, the supreme art of war is to subdue the enemy without fighting. All right? Trump opted for military escalation, including strikes and support for Israel operations instead of pursuing sustained diplomatic channels. Remember, Obama did this. Obama, he gave you the Iran nuclear deal. That was somebody that understood the art of war. What about conducting thorough calculations and planning before engagement? The general who wins the battle makes many calculations in his temple before the battle is even fought. Trump's administration, they're being criticized for entering a war without a coherent strategy, including undefined goals. Donald Trump does not understand war. He does not understand studying. And his experts, Pete Kegsbreff, are you kidding me? How about this? Avoid prolonged warfare. Yeah, there is no instance of a country having benefit from a prolonged warfare, highlighting the draining effects of extended conflict, right? All right, this war risks evolving into a forever war with no clear end in sight. I mean, this is Donald Trump showing you all how dangerous and incompetent he is. What about knowing the enemy in oneself? If you know the enemy and know yourself, you need not fear the result of 100 battles. Requires deep understanding of both sides. Look at that. We had reports yesterday, ladies and gentlemen, where they've came out and said the United States underestimated Iran's resilience. And you know why? Because they signaled to Iran and Russia and all the other adversaries we have, when they went and did what they did to Maduro, they showed everybody that we're a bunch of dirty people over here. We don't play by international rules. We're a dirty gang over here. And you know what you did when you signaled to them that, right? You showed them your hand. And Iran had enough time to prepare for all of this. They said, bring the smoke over here to the Strait of Hormuz. And like a bunch of fools, MAGA, your dear leader fell for it. Now they're stuck. Please let us out. Please let us out. No, we ain't got done. We're not done yet. We're not done with you yet. All right. Controlling escalation. And I could just read the list. But my point is Donald Trump failed to study the art of war. And Iran is actually kicking some serious butt. Because look at this. Look at the gas prices. Russia is now coming out like the fat cat while our gas prices are going through the roof. All right, hold on. Yeah, here you go.
That is currently stranded at sea. ABC News has learned that this will put 124 million barrels of Russian oil back into the market. Keep in mind, about 20 million barrels would flow through the Strait of Hormuz every day, so this will have a limited impact. Oil prices not moving much after this announcement, and gas prices are still climbing.
Wow.
The national average this morning, $3.65 a gallon. That's
Who has extra money for gas? Oh, so you're going to take the money I got out of my tax return and you're going to crash my weekend, right? Because now you got to use your refund to pay for the gas. Right?
It's up 71 cents since the start of the war. Diesel is now approaching $5 a gallon nationwide. It's already above that in at least 7 states. And that matters because transportation costs are spiking across the economy. UPS and FedEx say that they will now implement additional surcharges for ground shipping next week because of these higher diesel costs, Mike.
Wow. So you hear that UPS and FedEx, and you know it. You know how the game goes, right? We're just going to pass the cost on to you. They're all saying we're going to figure out how to get our money back, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to figure out how to get our money back. But this goes to the sheer incompetence. Another thing that I want to explain to MAGA is, they keep telling me, well, we're getting this oil from Venezuela, or, how does the oil over there in Iran and, all the GCC countries, why are we paying more at the pump when we don't even get our oil from there. So I figured, you know what? Let's break it down to MAGA on how the economy works 101. We're going to explain to you Trump supporters why what's happening over there is impacting you. And you know what? It's always nice when you got credible places like this guy right here on CNN, Jake Tapper. Remember him?
I'm the center
Explain
of the
it.
war right now, and maybe more than anything else, this seems to be bringing the battle home for the American people.
Explain
Do you
it.
agree?
Well, absolutely. And a lot of people may be puzzled by it. They say, look, there's a conflict way over there. The United States does produce a lot of oil and gas. So why is the cost going up at my corner gas station? First of all, because that is also a big oil and gas region. A lot of petroleum products there, from the UAE to Saudi Arabia, a huge producer, Kuwait, Iraq, and Iran itself. And almost all of it has to come through this thin ribbon of water down here and pass through the very tight Strait of Hormuz. About 3,000 ships a month, about 20 million barrels of oil a day. And Iran, as you noted above, Jake, is really putting a lot of military pressure on those ships and, in effect, slamming the gates shut there at the Strait and letting almost nothing through.
Wow.
We've heard about the effort to mine the Strait, sea mines by the Iranians. What do we know about Iran's ability, their capability to do that?
We know that they have a lot of mines, and they're not the old mines that you see in World War II movies. For example, they have this type of mine, which is called an influence mine. This is
dangerous stuff.
This sort of mine is much more modern. It sits underwater, and it basically takes readings on what's passing above, so that if a small boat or ship goes by, it may ignore it. But if a big tanker goes by, and that's what it's been tuned to, that's when it may detonate. It will be enough to destroy it? We don't know. How many are out there? We don't know. But that uncertainty alone is also contributing to the notion that none of these ships that ought to be going out are doing so. Jake?
Tom, most of the oil from the Strait goes to Asia.
Uh-oh.
Notably to China.
Uh-oh.
So why is it impacting the U.S. this way?
Yeah, almost none of it comes to the United States.
Here it
but
goes.
The problem is oil is traded on a world market. Once it gets out there, it's basically being all mixed together and traded. So if I were to put barrels in the back of our warehouse here and make them represent all the oil being traded in the world, 20% of it is now not passing through the Strait of Hormuz. You simply cannot remove that much from the market without affecting shipping and trade and manufacturing. And yeah, absolutely, what all of you are likely to pay this weekend when you go to gas up your car.
This weekend, when you go to gas up your car. Who voted for this? Who voted for this in the chat? Who voted for this? Who voted for this in the chat? Because, you know, you see what's happening right now on this show, ladies and gentlemen. We can't even talk to these folks right now. They're so discombobulated. They're so obliterated right now. Right? It's information overload. MAGA, thank you. I didn't vote for it. All right. And so I want to play this. I watch a guy named Jake, bro, sometimes, you know, and I felt like he said something, or he's saying things about this situation with the Iran war. He normally follows the Ukraine war, right? But obviously it's impacting the Iran war is impacting what's going on in Ukraine. But he said the most basic thing Trump could have done to prepare for this war against Iran would have been to fill the strategic petroleum reserves, because, you know, he's doing all of these things, whether it's the Jones Act or, you know, releasing these barrels to try to keep the cost of energy down. But ultimately, it's all going to backfire. Why? Because Donald Trump is what? The most incompetent and dangerous president we've ever had.
So I'm going to take a couple minutes and just talk about how incredibly stupid everyone in my government is.
Go ahead, Jake.
This war, 2 weeks in, it's been a complete disaster. And it's been a complete disaster due to a lack of planning. This chart right here shows the U.S. Strategic Petroleum Reserve. This is put out by the U.S. Energy Agency. And this shows, basically, there are these giant caverns in Texas that we fill with oil. And in the event there's a war in the Middle East or a crisis, these are the reserves that we should be releasing and using to protect America, but also help our allies. So the Strategic Petroleum Reserve was 3/4 full leading up to Russia's full-scale invasion. So this goes back to 2022. Oil prices spiked in response to Russia invading Ukraine. Joe Biden then released probably about half of the reserves through 2023 to try and bring down the price of oil. Starting in 2023, Joe Biden then started refilling it at a very slow rate. Why didn't Donald Trump refill this all the way to the top prior to launching a war against Iran?
That's a good question. MAGA, DJ, Dame, whoever's out there. This goes back to, obviously, he has no ability to think long term. He just likes, like Marco Rubio said, he just likes to repeat himself. But he's not a thinker. He is not an in-depth person when it comes to actually coming up with a well thought out strategy. And so this is just another example of what makes Donald Trump very dangerous.
It's half depleted. So Trump has announced he will release 172 million barrels of oil from the Strategic Petroleum Reserve because oil prices are spiking. But that's basically going to cut in half what we currently have. I don't know what the maximum capacity is. I don't know if this 1,000,000 barrels is the max, but it was only at 3/4. Ronald Reagan created this after the oil shocks in the late 1970s, but there was no planning. None. I don't think anybody in the White House anticipated that Iran would still be standing after 2 weeks, and they would actually start mining and destroying ships in the Strait of Hormuz. In addition, the United States Navy only has 4 mine-sweeping vehicles in total, and none of them are in the Persian Gulf. I'm sure we're going to deploy them to try and help, but maybe we should have 4, and maybe they should have been in place prior to attacking Iran.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. Any questions, ladies and gentlemen? So when you're getting clobbered at the gas station, and I'm not saying that because I really want this to happen. I honestly think this is terrible. But I understand right now, we're in a place right now where we need to fast track these Trump supporters to their suffering, right? We need to help these Trump supporters suffer so that they learn the most valuable lesson in life. Don't lie and don't support people who lie, right? Because guess what? You end up hurting yourself when you do. Ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, join me in warming up the lake of fire, because this weekend, a lot of these Trump supporters, they probably had vacation plans and they were going to do things. But those vacation plans, they've been, they had to be amended. They had to amend their vacation plans because they just got hit with an extra 30 to 40% fee for gas prices, right? And it's not just at the pump. The places they're going are also going to be charging them an additional fee for the gas. Ladies and gentlemen, join me in sending these people where they belong, straight to hell. All right, and that's a huge W Zeus. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's go ahead and open up the boxes. That concludes my monologue. Look at that, I'm getting out on time. I'm going to try to get out of here at around 8:30, all right, which is about an hour. All right, so don't you do it. Don't try to get up here and keep me in the box too long, all right? Please send a guest request if you have the courage to come up here and share out whatever it is that you feel the people need to know. I ask that you try to keep it short and sweet and to the point so that others have the opportunity to come up here, because we can honestly talk forever. A lot of you are really good. But the other thing is, make sure you can, if you can, show some of the panelists that come up here and contribute. If you can, show them some support, because a lot of them, honestly, they work really, really hard, and it would mean a lot if we could. It's not required, again, but, if you can, do it, please. All right, seriously. And if you're a Trump supporter, please, I don't want you to come up here and quiz me, all right? Because you already know where I stand. I just played it. I just showed you for an hour straight where I stand on every issue, all right? And there's really nothing you can do, MAGA, to change my mind or the minds of any of these people. And this behavior you all got right now, where you just want to get up and be problematic and you want to just be argumentative. Listen, I'm not in a relationship with you. Okay. So don't come up here and start trying to argue with me like, we split bills together and we do all that stuff. We don't do any of that. Just get up here and explain to us all why you're still supporting the most corrupt and wicked administration. And let me ask you some questions, all right? Because honestly, I need to know if you really believe what you're saying or you're just up here being a parrot. And that's a huge W Zeus. I literally go out in the real world. I go out in the real world and I just look for Trump supporters and I try to catch them at the gas station. And I'll be like, how does that feel though? Yeah. That sounds great. But how does that feel? And that's when they got to do the walk of shame and they got to get back in their car or their truck, because they went out and bought these big black trucks. Donald Trump, daddy's back. But you got to fill that thing up with gas. W Zeus. Oh, just hit him over the head. Just keep hitting him over the head, Donald. All right, moving it along, ladies and gentlemen. Moving it along. Who do we got? Oh, yeah, and the other thing. If you accidentally send a guest request, let's get this out of the way. What's the rule on this show? If you accidentally end up in my guest request, what's the rule, everyone? How many galaxies? JD Cake says 6. How many galaxies? Because we do this show all the time. W's in the chat for all the 2 galaxies. I don't want to hear the excuses. I don't want to hear it because we're all adults. All right. And I've said it so many times. And it's like, how did you end up? And they make up things. Zeus, you brought me in. No, I can't bring you in. There's too many people in here. You have to send a guest request in order for me to hit accept. It doesn't work any other way. And I don't want to charge you. But I will charge you if you get up here and you start playing games with Big Zeus. All right. So let's move it along. All right. Who do we got first? All right. Who is this? Alicia? Who is this? Alicia.
Hello?
Yes. Did you send a guest request?
I did. Thank you.
Hi. How was it an accident or you really meant to do this?
No, I was watching you for a minute and
Okay.
I just wanted to pipe in for a second if that's okay.
Yeah, sure. We got a couple minutes.
I'm not a Trump supporter.
Okay.
I'm Canadian.
Okay. Well, what did you want to say?
I wanted to make a point that because of social media, I have access to many different news reportings and access to, different situations. And what I'm seeing, even on our TV, CP24, Toronto, Canada, and the US, is us, the people on this side, we're not being told the truth. And the stuff that's really happening, the detrimental, the real scary stuff, that movies are made from, is what's going on. And only those that have access to social media and the people that believe, oh, is it AI or, it's a teeter-totter kind of a situation. But the people at home are not being told what's really going on.
Yeah, and that's a very good point, which is why I always say this. How do I say your name? Alicia? It's Alicia, right?
Yeah, Alicia.
Yeah. I just tell people, don't just listen to what you hear on social media, but you got to go out and actually verify the stuff that you're hearing, whether it's social media or even on the mainstream media. You got to double check and go look at it and get it from multiple sources. That's a good point, Alicia. All right?
100%.
All right. Now listen.
That's all I wanted to say.
Thank you. Thank you. W's in the chat.
Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. W's in the chat for Alicia. No lies detected. You see how easy that is, ladies and gentlemen? Thank you. Yeah. Make sure you fact check everything, ladies and gentlemen. That does a lot. All right. Let's move it along. Who do we got next? Our good friend, the beautiful Jim. Welcome. How are you doing? Happy Friday.
Good morning. How are you, my friend?
I'm doing all right. How about you?
Yeah, I'm doing okay. I wanted to talk about how the news is working right now. Not just on social media, but can you put this up on the big screen for me?
What is
Pretty,
it? Let's see.
please.
Okay, hold on. Oh, okay. There you go. Yeah, you got your word is my command. There you go.
So when we see the news or we're hearing all the social media commentary, especially from the MAGA side of the house, their main focus is GDP, right? Their main focus is money.
Right.
Their main focus is economy. And if you would do yourselves just the favor of research, you would know that anytime we focus strictly on economy and not the humans that are being lost because of this or the humans that are being harmed, growth-driven disconnect is one of the number one things that happens during wartime.
Yeah.
And especially when we have administrations that focus only on money and not the people. Once we harm the people, there is no money to be made, but they never learn that. So the bottom line is that the current system emphasizes on expanding the GDP and market performance, which can lead to income inequality, environmental degradation, increased anxiety, and happiness does not necessarily follow relentless consumption, right? We find that greed, that gluttony that they have actually destroys economies.
Right.
Here we go. The Homo economicus model. Modern economics often assumes that people are purely rational, competitive, and self-interested, influencing institutions to prioritize profit over human connection and wellness. We're already seeing it. It's them versus us, right? Them versus us. The top 1% is getting richer and richer while we are striving to just get food on the table. And we're worried about gas being at $3.53 in really red states, right? Because I'm in California, gas is way above $3.53.
I've
but
seen
in red
over
states where
$6. It's over $6 in some places that I frequent. All right, it's not. You're not lying. No, Angus, she's not lying.
it's not pretty, right? So in the poorest of the poorest states like Arkansas, Alabama, Mississippi, Kentucky, that's a lot of money for these families, right?
Yeah.
The next is the marginalization of human worth. When the economic growth is prioritized over everything else, humanity can be treated as secondary, leading to potential useless class of individuals whose economic contributions surpassed by AI and robotics. So they're literally telling Americans that you are worthless, that we will replace you by AI and robotics. We don't need you in the workforce anymore. So we're going to remove you because you're no longer deemed worthy. And finally, the impact of the focus is that the focus of the rewards of small few privileged with immense disaster of they're not going to help the connection of the normal people, but only the people who are at the top 1% of the global wealth. And that's going to cause more and more disparities.
Yeah.
So I want to remind people, when you're only talking about gas, when you're only talking about money, when you're only talking about the stock market, when you're only talking about dividends, when you only hear the administration of the United States talking about his rich friends and how rich they're going to be, they're not talking about you, the average American. They're literally talking about themselves. And you can shrink me down, love.
Okay.
I wanted to come up today because I woke up this morning with this so heavy on my heart, thinking about how dangerous it is when we focus on just the economy and we don't look at the human loss.
That's very
And I'm not just talking about in America. This is going to have global impact. The poorest of the poor will be harmed even more. Right?
Yeah.
It's the greediest over the neediest. You guys have heard me say that for years now. Greediest over neediest. And the divide is getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And we have to start talking about the absolute degradation and demoralization of the American people, the degradation and demoralization of the people in Iran, and all over the globe that are now going to be impacted.
Amen.
I mean,
tell them.
For those of us who really do care about what's happening, it's not just America first. America first is the danger zone. Thinking about just America, when you were doing your stuff this morning, that final piece where you were talking about how the oil, as it stopped, and it's only 20%, right?
Yeah.
They're not stopping that. They're not stopping that oil because it's what America relies on. It's because it's harming the global economy. I want people to understand that. It's harming the global economy. That's not making us better in America. It's actually making every other country hate Americans, which means that you being at home isn't going to be a protection.
Right.
It means that you didn't just prevent people from coming into the country. You have now prevented Americans to be able to travel freely across the globe without being hated or disrespected.
Facts.
It means that you supported something that's literally going to harm our U.S. service members across the globe. And I want that to sink in, because this idea of America first has never been a good idea. We've talked about it for years. We've talked about the importance of understanding what that means, and that it wasn't even started as an American ideology, but it started in Europe when the hate was real, when they were harming every other person that they didn't consider humans, right?
Yeah.
And now we're here. And we said this before. We said this in his first administration, and now I cannot help but make you guys hear what I'm saying. That when you focus on only the GDP of the richest top 1%, you forget that all of the social structures that have been put into place, mainly by Democrats, because they are the ones who have fought year after year after year to ensure that there was civil rights, human rights, educational rights, women's rights, and a belief in science and math that protects the people.
Yep.
I cannot say that enough.
Thank you.
And when you asked about the galaxies, I know we joke a lot when you said, how many galaxies? Because I've been joking in my show about it at night when people tap into my box. I'm like, you know what Zeus says? 2 galaxies. And I laugh, right?
Yeah, you bet. Yeah. Because it's necessary, right? You are out, we're standing shoulder to shoulder, combating these liars and these demons, and we're having positive outcomes. So if people can, they should, but it's not required. You know what I mean? But thank you.
Yeah. And I want to address something that Tiny, your person, Tiny TikTok guy. The Dems should not support Iran. I want to make this clear. 2 things can be true. You cannot support a country that's trying to harm people, and you cannot support the U.S. government that's harming people. Because when you commit atrocities, you are not the hero.
Yeah.
So let me make that very clear. For everybody not understanding, those of us whose families have actually served with integrity and honor, let me be very clear. Following illegal orders, lying about whether or not there are weapons of mass destruction, there is zero that I had any capabilities whatsoever. This report about California, Zeus, that those of us who live in California, what happened yesterday? They tried to put a scare tactic into the media saying that Iran was talking about booming California. That's funny. There's never been any indication that they've had any capability whatsoever to do that. So you know it's not reality. You know it's a scare tactic probably put out by this particular administration, because who do they hate the most?
Americans. Or actually, Democrats. Yeah, Democrats. Thank you. No. Thank you, Jim. Now we're going to try to get up here and get nutty up here.
Come up
or some of your other ones, because we're going to try to keep it tight, all right? But W's in the chat. You got it all out?
Love you. Have a good day, everybody.
W's in the chat for Jim. You cooked and you booked. Wow. Don't you love the truth?
That was hard.
Yeah, you did it. You did a good job.
Talking that fast. I have to get some water now.
All right. Oh, my God. Bye-bye. That's what we need. But, Jim, you brought up a very good point. Let me see. I want to make sure Tiny Take Top Tim Tom also. Right? When you said it's the Democrats that are cheering on for cheering for Iran, no, we're not. Here's a good example, Tiny Take Top Tim Tom, of a MAGA. This is somebody who's done with Donald Trump, but they're a Trump supporter. All right, they're a Trump supporter. Listen to him. Listen to him. Tiny Take Top Tim Tom. Oh, couldn't hide. Hold on. All right, there you go. Just listen to him.
Like right now.
This is MAGA. Tiny Take Top. This is a MAGA demon right here. But listen to what he's saying.
And another plane was hit and it was able to actually land in Israel. Those soldiers are alive, but yet 6 more American troops are coming home in body bags thanks to fucking Trump and the Jews. God bless Iran, and please keep it going. Iran, the only way that you're going to teach these psychopaths a message or send a message to the fucking rest of the world is if you devastate Israel. It has to look like fucking Gaza when you guys are done. And please, Lord, please protect the Iranian soldiers.
This is not a Democrat. This is a guy who voted for Trump. So Tiny Tank Top Tim Tom, once again, I'm proving you wrong. Listen to this.
As they eliminate this scum from the face of the earth, these are your warriors, these are your angels, and they are on a mission to eradicate the Satan synagogue off the face of the earth. So please, Lord, baby Jesus, with everything in my heart, I am praying for the success of Iran and to bring home all of their troops home safely. Please bless them. Keep an eye out on them. They are literally fighting the battle for all of humanity. If Iran falls, all of the world will fall. God, please protect the Iranian soldiers and bring them home safe. Please allow them to eliminate every last Israeli scumbag from the face of the earth. God bless you. Amen. And I want to say one last prayer for our troops. God, please give the troops of the United States of America the courage that they need to resign. There is no...
Look at it, got technical difficulties going so...
On behalf of God's chosen people, our citizens do not want this war. We do not support this war. And we pray that you allow our U.S. troops to come home safely and realize that they are making a grave mistake. They are defying our Lord. They are defying Christianity. And they are working on behalf of an illegitimate, corrupt, pedophile regime who wants to send our sons and daughters off to die for God's chosen people and over in Israel. So please give our troops the courage and the fortitude that is needed to resign and come back home safe and sound to their families. God bless you.
So what I'm going to do is this, because Tiny Tank Top Tim, he failed to do his research, and he just said whatever came inside of his head, right? And I haven't said this, but when I was growing up, and I used to get into trouble, there was a saying that we all had amongst ourselves, you know, those of us who were behaving bad. Everything that comes through your head ain't yours, right? And what that means is sometimes the devil puts thoughts in your mind, and you think it's yours, but it's not. It's the devil's. And so what Tiny Tank Top Tim did was, he allowed the devil to play a trick on him, and he thought he had a bright idea. But I keep telling Tiny Tank Top Tim, Tom, you're not that bright. I know what happened when you went to college. Remember, you said the teacher told you you were here to learn, and you got up and left because you said the teacher was lying. No, that's why you go to college, to learn, right? And so what I'm going to do is this, Tiny Tank Top Tim, Tom. You didn't do your research. It's not the Democrats that are cheering on for Iran. It's MAGA, the ones who are upset with Donald Trump because they feel betrayed. Ladies and gentlemen, join me in warming up the lake of fire once again. Tiny Tank Top Tim Tom. And I saw DJ come up in here. DJ U2. Challenger. I see you. Ladies and gentlemen, join me in sending these liars. They don't get it. Where they belong. Straight to hell. He's fake MAGA. Trash man, he's fake MAGA.
Silence.
Hey, Trash Bait, that's not what his timeline says. There was a point where he was championing for Donald Trump to become the president. So he's not fake MAGA. You're the fake MAGA. W. Zeus. I just cooked Trash Bait and I didn't even try. Let me move on to the next panelist, ladies and gentlemen. It's so easy to destroy these demons because they know they have made a terrible mistake. All right, let's bring up our good friend. Who is this, Brother Val?
What's up, brother? All right.
How you doing?
Good. Let's address a couple things real quick. First off, when we talk about Iran, for people like Tim and other people that want to sit down there and
where'd you go, Val? Oh, I thought I lost you.
Yes. But for people that say that Democrats are supporting, I want to make sure people understand something. Democrats are not supporting Iran. Democrats haven't supported Iran since the 1970s. Okay, in the 1970s, in the 1970s, before an Ayatollah took control of the country. This is what people don't remember about the 1970s. Okay, when that happened, we quit supporting Iran, and Democrats haven't supported Iran ever since because they're devastating to the people. But what you people need to understand is this. We are dealing with that exact same problem in the United States today.
Wow.
Okay? We have our own Ayatollah wannabe in the White House that does nothing but lie to the people every day. I'm going to talk about one of those lies here in just a minute.
Go ahead.
But that talks about this. So when you sit here and you go, Democrats are the ones that support Iran. We do not.
Nope.
Okay? And I don't know of one who does, but we did just hear a MAGA supporter support him, which was wild. You know what I'm saying? So, which was crazy. But I want you to understand that we do not. We never have.
No.
But they don't have the capability, the stupidity of that lie of they're going to attack California. Guys, y'all need to buy a globe. Quit looking at a map. And buy a damn globe, okay?
Wow. Get him, Val. Val.
Because what you will find out when you look at a globe is that what you're talking about is not realistic. If they were going to attack us with the capabilities that they own today, that they have today, it would be our eastern seaboard, not our western seaboard.
Boom.
Okay?
Yeah.
And that would even still be a struggle for them.
Yeah. No.
Okay, these are the things. So when we get mad about what's happening, Jim was right on.
Yeah.
Okay, what you really have here is two Ayatollahs fighting.
Wow. Wow. I didn't think about it like that. Honestly,
I mean,
because what's the difference between them?
Right, there's none. Okay, I mean, in reality, there's really none. Okay, and when I talked about lying to the people, let's talk about the biggest one that's come out lately. Has anybody down there, anybody heard about this $300 billion refinery that's being built in Brownsville, Texas, that the president was so proud, said it was going to be built by American First Finance and all this stuff the other day?
No.
Yes, he talked about this $3 billion oil refinery and how the Trump administration has going to build the first refinery in 50 years that is going to, that you know what I'm saying, in the United States. Well, let's deal with the lies. Okay. First off, this refinery was proposed back in 2016. Wow. Under the Obama administration. Okay, it wasn't proposed by Obama, it was proposed by a company that wanted to do it. Now, that during the Trump administration, that company went bankrupt before they even broke ground. Why did they go bankrupt?
Why?
They went bankrupt because of the 2018 oil crash that Trump created when he flooded the market with oil.
This guy.
Okay, and if people don't, and now, hold on, this is where the circle of Iran comes together here. Okay, because when he created that issue, it was because he was trying to cut off Iranian oil from the supply chain. And when he talked OPEC into producing more oil to cover what Iran puts into place, they did. But then he decided that he was also going to let Iranian oil continue to flow too, which flooded our markets, lowered the price per barrel of gas, and created what is referred to as the oil crash of 2018 that put over 40 U.S. oil companies out of business.
Wow.
Okay. One of those companies was the company that was going to build that refinery.
Okay.
Now, under the Biden administration, they worked on that deal, got a funding, and a lot of that funding, just to be clear with everybody, came from in India. Okay, so some in India companies helping with this. Let's talk about the other lie. $300 billion was the claim.
Yeah.
It's actually $3 billion. It was claimed to be, he claims it to be the largest, the big list, largest refinery ever built in the United States. No, it would be about a medium-sized refinery in this country.
Wow.
It's not, and he claimed it to be the most technological. Yeah. He claimed it to be the most economical, technological.
Yeah.
And no, it's not. It can only refine sweet crude from West Texas. Oh, here's where it gets
Not
better.
Venice. Can it do the Venezuela oil?
No.
No.
Sweet crude from West Texas. West Texas sweet crude. So that's the other thing. Oh, it gets better, Zeus.
Wow.
Does anybody know? Do you know where Brownsville, Texas is?
I don't know where it's at. I honestly don't. But tell us.
Other than San Francisco, other than San Diego, it is the closest major border town with a port next to Mexico.
Wow.
Okay.
Wow.
Next to Mexico.
Wow.
So I mean, it's literally right next to Mexico port. Okay.
Yeah.
Most of the oil is slated to go to Mexico. Most of the gas that this is going to refine is slated
going
to
to
go
Mexico?
to Mexico. So these are These are the things. So yet another America First thing, right? Yeah, right. Yeah, no. These are the things that we talk about that these people want to keep, talking about, which was a total lie.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, that refinery broke ground in 2024.
Oh, under
Joe Biden.
Joe Biden. Wasn't this? I think I heard a video or something where they were saying this is the one that Biden opened, but he was quietly doing it because there was some backlash or something. I forget. I think that's what it was.
Yeah, there's three. He proposed 3 different refineries.
Okay.
2 in Oklahoma. Now the 2 in Oklahoma, and then 1 in somewhere up in the Northeast.
Yeah.
Those 3 refineries. Those 3 refineries were going to be highly technological refineries. They were going to be massive refineries.
Got it.
But one of them in Oklahoma was going to be able to produce as much oil as all our combined refineries together.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? Or produce as much fuel,
Yeah.
gasoline.
Yeah.
And that never broke ground because, like most refineries that get proposed in this country over the last 50 years, usually the people, everybody's great and wants a refinery, right?
Yeah.
Until it's somewhere near their backyard.
True.
And then they don't, right. And then they don't really want the refinery anymore.
No.
Now that's, you know what I'm saying? That's
one out here where every now and then there's chemical spills and it gets in the air and you have to shelter in place. So yeah, living next to a refinery isn't all that is cracked up to be. So seriously, but all right, Val, listen up, bro, ladies and gentlemen. Let's go ahead and give Brother Val a huge round of applause. We're gonna try to get some more folks up in here. Your friend DJ is out there, Val. Could you at least minister to him? He's begging you like a dog for attention. I don't know what you've done to him, but he is out there.
I don't either.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, if he needs ministering, I guess.
Yeah. There you go.
DJ, I don't know what kind of ministry you're needing, because at this point in this country, with the economical problems that we're having in this country right now, with the human rights violations that we're having in this country right now, with the war that we have started right now. Hear me out again, DJ. With the war we have started right now, DJ, I don't know what else you need to hear, because here's the facts. DJ, you're a person that said in our lives back in, over the course of 2024, and you told us that if he does any of this, you would quit supporting him. Well, DJ, you have not quit supporting him. DJ, how's the stock market today, DJ? Hey, DJ, what are people's paychecks looking like today, DJ? Hey, DJ, how was that February job loss of 93,000? 93,000 looking today, DJ? Where are you with this man, DJ? Because if you sit down there and go, I still support, I don't care what you think.
Yeah.
To be very honest.
Be honest. Well, then, Val, I think you totally obliterated him. W's in the chat for Val. All right. Thank you, bro. I appreciate it. No lies detected. There you go. Wow. So, as you all can see, it's an amazing thing we do on this show. And to the Trump supporters that are triggered, like I said,
if you're not happy here, then you can leave.
All right. What we don't want is, I don't want to hear people crying to us about why things are the way that they are. We know why. Let's see, who do we got next? Good morning, Takesha. Welcome. How are you
Zeus,
doing?
I won't be but a minute.
Okay.
You know how you could tell when you losing a war?
How?
When you keep making Truth Social saying the exact same thing, telling people that y'all done obliterated these folks, military, they navy, they bombed. You ain't did none of that, Donald Trump. Because if you did, guess what would be open, Zeus? The straight.
Oh.
Guess what would be flowing, Zeus? Get what, Zeus? You wouldn't be deploying people over there if you are winning. Trump, stop lying to your people. And the people that's believing him, y'all got to use y'all common sense. You know when Trump is lying, is when he keeps saying the same thing over and over and over and over and over again. Because he trying to convince y'all while he trying to convince himself.
Yeah.
They ain't destroying nothing because, like I said, how can they if the straight still closed?
Yeah.
That man that took over for his dad said they are not giving up.
Nope.
This war is not going to end.
Nope.
So y'all just sit back, get y'all gas cans, put what y'all can in the freezer
Amen.
so you can unthaw it when times are hard.
Uh-huh.
Because this is not finna end and they ain't finna end no time soon. Have a great day,
Hit him
Zeus.
with it, Takesha. W's in the chat for Takesha. Hit that Cash App. You know, I just say that because I'm so used to saying it. Here's the thing. I'm with Val, I'm with Jim, I'm with Keisha, I'm with all of you. I'm a reasonable person. I enjoy actually talking to people when I'm in the mood to talk, right? It's an interesting thing to be able to like psychologically analyze a person based on how they, share what they believe in their opinions. But when it comes to the Trump supporters out here that are still worshiping Donald Trump, I'm at the point with them where I've spoken to so many of them, and I'm like, you all really have a problem. All right. And Val pointed out something we've heard them say, if Trump does this, I'm done with him. But not a lot of them keep their word on that. Right. We got DJ in the Epstein files. What did he say? If he's in those Epstein files, Zeus, I'm done with him. And then the DOJ released all these documents with him in it. Oh, is it credible though, Zeus? And then you go, well, they went and interviewed the victim 4 times, bro. Oh, and you just make an excuse. Something's wrong with you. And then we had, I call him Brother Dame. I know you all don't like to call him Brother Dame, but I call him Brother Dame because, I'm not going to get into that. But he said, if we start losing men and women in uniform, I'm done with them. Right? That they give us all these little things they call red line. And then I'm like, okay, when you said that there was one and one was too many, now we're at the point where we don't even know because we've been told they're lying to us about the numbers. And guess what? These folks still go out there and they support this man. So I'm at the point with the Trump supporters where I say, what else is there to talk about? We see you at the gas station, and I know when you're there, I know what you're doing. You're getting screwed, W. Zeus. I see you getting screwed at the gas station. Good morning, Nutty.
Hey, good morning, Zeus. How's everybody? How's everybody?
We're doing all right. We're doing all right. How about you?
So I'm doing great, actually.
Yes.
So first of all, that gentleman that you played earlier, that prayed to God for the destruction of the people in Israel and prayed for the protection of
He's
Iran.
not a Democrat.
No. Listen. I found that very hilarious, but let me just say this: that prayer didn't get any further than his lips. That prayer didn't get because God don't hear prayers like that.
Right.
Even though I understood where he was going with that. Let me make that clear.
But
I
he wasn't a
it.
Democrat. That's the whole point. But what were you trying to say about it, though?
Well, he was. He's fake MAGA. Remember?
Yeah.
Because anyone who ever comes out against Donald Trump, is now fake MAGA. Wow. So isn't that what DJ said? He's fake MAGA or something?
That's what Trash Bait said. That's what Trash Bait said. But Trash Bait won't lace up a pair. He won't lace up a pair.
Hey, Zeus.
Yeah.
It's in his name. It's in his name. He's trash.
Anyway, that's a round of applause because that's a good one.
So again, according to Al Jazeera, we've lost four more service members. Last night, we lost 4 more in a plane crash. There was a refueling plane, and it crashed, losing 4 more U.S. soldiers.
Yeah.
But also, I wanted to talk about, because Jim touched on this a little bit earlier. It's not only the safety of U.S. citizens around the world, but now Trump is threatening. I took it as a threat. He's threatening the Iranian football team, because the United States, Mexico, and Canada are hosting the FIFA World Cup.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And so Iran has a football team.
Yeah.
And for us other U.S. citizens, I know I'm saying football, but across the world it's football.
I caught what you
but
were
we
saying.
call it soccer.
Yeah. I caught.
We call it soccer.
Yeah.
here. So Kansas City, where I live,
Yeah.
Kansas City is one of the host cities for the FIFA World Cup, and he's telling the Iranian players that they shouldn't come because it might not be safe for them. So are you threatening their life, Donald Trump? And he effectively is threatening their lives because he knows that the people who listen to him, they're sick, they're diabolical, they're twisted. So just by him saying that alone, that put in someone's head that they should go after the Iranian national team that comes here to play in the World Cup.
Yeah. Wow.
Make that make sense. This is coming from the President of the United States. All right, audience. All right, audience. I need y'all to stop booing because Zeus only gives us limited time here. So another thing, according to Al Jazeera, because I do get a lot of my news from Al Jazeera.
Okay.
Little boy Ben from the Is Not So Real.
Okay.
The leader of Is Not So Real.
Okay, I got you.
He came out and said that he wants to create conditions for the regime change. I thought this wasn't a regime change. Isn't that what Donald Trump's saying, that we didn't go in for a regime change?
Yeah.
But now he's saying we should have a regime change.
Yeah.
But he wants conditions to create for the Iran regime change. Dude, the conditions that we need here in the United States of America is for you to take your puppet Donald Trump and for both of you to go to hell.
Amen.
That's what we need here.
And you can't have regime change without boots on the ground. At least that's what I've been told.
Well, from everything that I know, and listen, I have not strapped up I haven't laced up these boots to go either because I'm not going to fight for a country who don't love me.
Yeah.
So anyway, but with that being said, I don't know either, but that's what I've heard as well.
Wow.
That's what I've heard as well.
Wow.
So again, we constantly saying, and I do remember DJ and Val, you are absolutely correct because we keep pointing things out to DJ that DJ had some hard lines in the sand that if Trump did A, B, C, and D, he no longer going to support Donald Trump. But DJ, Trump has not only done A, B, C, and D, he's gone through Z 3 times over and started back at A.
Yeah.
And you're still supporting him.
Yeah.
Why? Why are you still supporting this man? Because it showed us the truth about you, DJ, that you are a liar, just like Dame, just like Tiny Tank Top Tim, just like Trash Bait, all of y'all the same. A bird of a feather, it flocks together.
Thank you, Nutty. You're right.
Have a good day, Zeus.
All right. W's in the chat for Zeus. I mean, W's in the chat for Nutty. No lies detected. Yeah, we're destroying it. We're cooking these demons. Axel. Good morning, Axel. Welcome. Oh, I think Axel realized that they were in the guest request and then they got up out of there. All right, moving it along. Good morning, Q Dog. Welcome. How you doing? Is Q Dog there? Going once, going twice. I don't see him. I don't know what happened. Let's see. Who do we have next? King T. I guess we'll do King T. Why is it? It seems like if I accept them, then they disappear. It's like when I accept you, you disappear. You there?
What's going on, bro? I don't know what happened.
Oh, okay, good. Oh, okay, King T, that was an accident. You got out. You know the rules. Just kidding. You got out before I could see you. Welcome, bro.
I got a quick question for Tiny Tank Top Tim, Tom, whatever. He changes his name all the time. DJ, Trash Bait. Who else can I think of? And the rest of the
Ladybug.
How old are y'all? What's y'all age? You know where I'm going with this, right, Zeus? What's y'all age? Literally. Put it in the chat. Because if you're less than 40 years old, you can enlist.
Yeah.
39 is the age limit. I believe for the Navy is 34.
Well,
How old are
well,
you
let's
all?
not ask them their physical. Let's talk about their mental age.
Well, yeah. That's the reason why I want them to enlist,
Yeah.
because of their mental age.
Yeah, yeah,
Well,
yeah.
yeah, definitely.
Because they're eligible mentally. Trust me, in the
Exactly.
WQ dog.
Exactly. Yeah, I'm real curious about this because, like I said yesterday, y'all come up here with so much energy, but y'all have not went to either one of the branches, Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines. Y'all haven't went to one of those branches to say, I'm ready to come in, to do work, do real work. But y'all come up here and run your mouth and work your mouth all day long. Stay in the chat, because y'all really don't have nothing to say. That's the reason why y'all don't come up on the panel anymore. I know, I want to say about a month and a half ago, Tiny Tank Top 10 was requesting every day. All day, every day. You got something to say? Alter Ego, you got, congratulations, you got the 50 followers. I guess, unless they done drop back to 48, 47 followers. It took you 3 years to do that. How old are you, Alter Ego? Because we can never hear your voice. Did you enlist yet? That was the other one that I was thinking of. Put in the chat whether or not you enlisted yet, because they need some help over there. Iran is not gonna quit. Y'all gotta realize those folks overseas, they are willing to lay down. They have vests with boom booms on them, ready to put on their bodies to go to war and lay down a life for their cause. Are y'all scared? Well, what's going on? Because y'all ain't here every day. I'm waiting for one of y'all to say, I got my paperwork, I'm ready to go. Y'all won't see me for a little while, but I'm doing what I'm going to do for my daddy Trump. Where is it at? Chris Amons, bring your behind up here. You got so much to say in the chat. Bring your behind up here. Let me hear your opinion. You want to say my name? Come on, bring your behind up here. You and Dragonfly, Fire, whatever you want to call yourself. Don't stay in the chat. Come on up. Come on up. None of y'all gonna come up.
I invited them.
Yeah, come on up here.
They don't want to get up here and actually explain
If you scared, say you scared.
Just
like they said that song in ATL, if you scared, say you scared.
There you go. There you go. And you know, again, I'm the nice one, but it really does bother me that these folks will be on social media advocating for these conflicts, or no, advocating for the war, but they dare not volunteer to go enlist themselves. They won't do it. So why is it okay for you to tell us to go, but you're too scared to go? That's the number one. That's the easiest way to know that these people are nothing but a bunch of frauds.
Straight frauds with fake accounts. Bots. That's all you are. Bots. You're not soldiers, you're bots.
Yeah. There you go, WQ dog. Well, it looks like you've destroyed them. Well, listen up. We're running short on time, brother, but I appreciate ya.
No doubt, bro. Always here for you.
All right. No lies detected. Let's see. Uh-oh, who is this? Takesha, you said you needed to come back up here? What's going on?
Let me say this right quick, Zeus. Trump made that post after Iran said they were not going to participate. So he's trying to make it seem like they're not coming because they scared of what he said. Also, Zeus, this is my last time doing this. I would never give another woman advice on how to stop being called a bitch by Dame, because I see they get offended. So when he keep doing it, because you keep bringing his name up, don't whine about it. And I'm done with that, and she know exactly who I'm talking about. Have a great day.
Oh, Lord have mercy. That's a W for Zeus. I don't know what's going on, but it's Friday the 13th. Y'all behave out there in the chat, seriously. But if you want me to get involved, you know, my mom used to say, You don't want me to get involved because everybody going down. So y'all behave out there, all right? Oh my goodness, ladies and gentlemen. That's right. Woo! Y'all quick. Let me go ahead and change directions. You want to turn your camera on?
So what's going on, Zeus and Nicole?
You want to turn your camera on?
Sure, why not?
I just want to see you eat the mustard.
What's happening?
You got any mustard on you?
What's going on?
Do you have any mustard?
No, I'm at work.
You're at work?
I'm at work. Why do you have a problem with mustard?
Because I could just see you.
I don't understand that.
I could just see you eating mustard right out of the bottle and onions together.
That's okay.
Yeah, I mean, that's a diet you got to eat when you're a MAGA demon.
See, you're trying to use that as a way to embarrass me, and it's not going to work.
No. Honestly, I don't need to embarrass you. You do a good job. Oh, you got to leave the house because he always has to leave the house when he's talking to Big Zeus because he'll get in trouble.
I happen to be at work, and we have a lot of snow. I'm at work. We have snow, so I have to do snow removal. That's why I'm outside.
Oh, okay. But then what about all the other times you go outside? It's not
my
always.
dogs need to be walked. My dogs need to be walked before I go to work.
Okay, and what about the times you're not walking the dog? Because you don't always walk the dog. It just so happens every time you get in my box, you know you have to step outside because obviously you're not in charge. And you're not in charge because the jig's up.
No, because out of respect for my wife. Out of respect for my wife.
What was so disrespectful talking to your wife with me on the phone?
Because my wife does not like to talk politics. So when I'm talking politics, I do it when she's not around. If she's home, I go outside.
So you think what you're doing?
But if you had a wife, you'd know what that was.
You don't know what I got.
Respect for your wife would be. You ain't got a wife. That's for sure.
If you respected your wife, you wouldn't have voted for Trump.
That's not true.
Okay, then how do you and your wife reconcile the fact that he's an adjudicated rapist and in the Epstein files and has no respect for women?
He's not an adjudicated rapist.
I didn't ask you to think. I'm asking you, how do you all reconcile it? You just deny it's happening? That's not a real man.
No,
you're not.
He didn't. He hasn't been convicted of anything, so he's not guilty.
Do you want to bet?
So
you want to bet? Because I'd hate to take the last $5 you got.
He's been found liable for.
He's also been convicted.
That's not great.
He's also been convicted. He's a convicted felon. So, do you want me to take the $10 now?
No, I will admit he is a convicted felon. Hold on, he is a convicted
well, you
felon,
said he hasn't
but not of a sexual nature.
Okay, all right.
But not of the sexual nature.
Okay. You don't think he's a nasty person, right? Even though you've heard everything he said.
No, I never said he was a nice person. I never said he was a nice person.
Okay, is he in the Epstein files? Admit it.
Yes.
Okay, so then case closed.
Okay, so what's that mean? What's that mean? A lot of people are in there.
Are you?
No.
Okay, then. So a lot of people aren't in there. So what does it say about him being in there the most?
Hold on. In what context is he in the files?
Committing nasty.
People talking about him?
No.
Hold on. No. People are saying he did nasty things. Is there any proof
Who are
to
those
back
people?
up anything they're saying?
Who are the people? Just say it. The victims.
Okay. But they're not. He didn't do anything.
Listen.
They even said he didn't do anything.
No, they did not.
The victims said that.
No,
yes,
they did not.
Go back and watch the interviews. Watch the interviews. Watch them on the steps of the Capitol.
Do you know how to read?
Listen to them. They have
Do you know how to read?
Opportunity to step up. They have.
Hold on. Do you know how to read? I think I figured it out.
Yes, I do.
Okay.
Do you know how to listen though? Do you know how to listen though? Because if you listen to what they're saying, not one of them have taken the opportunity to throw him under the bus.
Okay.
None of them.
But if you have read any of the 302 forms that have came out in the Epstein files where victims have credibly accused Donald Trump to the point where the FBI...
What makes it credible? What makes it credible?
The FBI took it serious.
No, the FBI in 96 said there's no proof of anybody doing anything wrong in the file.
So this is
in 2016, when they started the new investigation, no one found anything to implicate Trump, because if they had, as bad as they wanted him to not run for president, had there been anything in the files that could have been used against him, somebody would have leaked it.
Okay, you got it out? Because what I'm hearing is a lot of denial. I'm not asking you what your opinion is.
I'm not denying anything.
Okay.
He's in the files.
So let's be clear.
But why is he in the files? See,
wasn't he Epstein's best friend at one point? Didn't he say Epstein was a terrific guy?
Yes,
okay. So that's why
haven't you ever cut ties with somebody?
Yeah.
Haven't you ever cut ties with somebody?
That's not the question that you should be asking.
That is the question.
No.
Because
have you ever been friends? Hold on. Have you ever been friends?
They weren't.
Have you ever been friends with the most notorious P3DO on the face of the earth?
No.
Okay, then that's what the real question should be, not whether or not I cut ties.
No. The question is have you ever cut ties with somebody?
No, but was Trump notorious? Was Trump friends with the most notorious P3DO? Just say it.
Yes.
Okay, stop right there. Stop right there. Stop right there.
No,
okay.
no.
Stop right there. So
is he now?
W Zeus. W
Was he
Zeus.
at the time of the death?
It's so easy.
Was he at the time of the death? Was he at the time of Epstein's death? Was he best friends with him?
Prove to me he wasn't.
Prove to me he was.
Because there was evidence that he was still in contact.
Hold
on.
You're claiming that Trump is guilty of all this stuff.
This is easy.
Prove that they were friends after 2007.
If you could, I'm gonna give you a homework assignment. Could you at least start reading what's in the files? I know it scares you to see your daddy like that.
No, it doesn't scare me at all.
Yeah, it does. Because if it did,
no, it doesn't.
If it did,
I don't care. He's not in there in any way that can implicate him in anything. The ones I've read, it shows that people didn't like him. It shows that people like to talk about him. But there's absolutely no proof of anybody doing anything.
I'm going to call your bluff right now. I'm going to call it. Which one did you read? Because you said the ones you read. Tell me about the ones you've read. What did they say exactly?
I've read about the ones where they say that he was in a room with. Whoever wrote that section of the the section of the file I read. I don't know who wrote it. That's why I'm saying they. Wait, I thought pronouns were a good thing.
Huh?
So I thought pronouns were a good thing. I'm just using they because I don't know.
No, I want to be more accurate in recognizing what you're referring to. I'm not playing that little identity politics thing right now. So tell me
I'm just saying. Tell me what you read they because I don't know who they are.
Okay, what did they say?
That he was alone in a room with. That he was alone in a room with a girl for several hours. But that same girl got on the stand and said nothing happened.
No, it's not the same girl. Number two, you have left out the part that Jeffrey Epstein in that email said he's the dog that hasn't barked. You haven't read that one? And Epstein said that 14-year-old
haven't barked.
No. And Epstein said that girl and him were at his house all alone. So you skipped over that part.
And did okay? And
so stop right there.
Against him
stop right there.
What?
Stop right there.
There's charges against him for what?
Hold up. So would you be comfortable with your daughter being alone with a notorious P3DO for any amount of time? Is that acceptable?
He wasn't a notorious P. He was. Hold on. He was not a notorious P3DO. See, that's where you're wrong.
Epstein
that's where
was.
You like to twist things.
Epstein was.
Well, okay, but we're
Epstein was.
No, I would not want my daughter.
Okay. So and Donald Trump hung out with this guy
because he has. Hold on, because he has been charged with something.
Who?
What has Trump been charged with in the sexual nature?
So let me ask you this then: you would let your daughter hang out with someone that is getting rumored to be a notorious P3DO because as long as they haven't been charged, they're good.
I would talk to them and I would make up my own mind.
So no.
I'm not going to go
yes
by
or
what
no.
somebody else said. I am not going to go by what somebody else said.
Okay, so you know what I'm going to do?
What I think, and I will talk to the person.
And you know what I'm going to do? You get booed because what kind of father would tell their daughter, "I'm not going to go off what you're saying. I'm just going to make my mind up because I'm not going to save you."
That's not what I said.
You just said you won't protect your daughter.
You're trying to twist what I said.
You just said you won't protect your daughter.
That is
you
not
are
what I said. That's what you're taking. You are.
I'm teaching you how to be a man.
That is not what I said.
Okay, then say it the way it should be said.
Don't change what I said.
Say it the way it should be said as a father.
I would talk to the person that is being accused, and I would make up my own mind by asking questions and how they answer.
Okay, so
they answer them in a way that I'm comfortable with. Yeah.
Okay, so let me explain to you how silly and foolish that sounds. So your daughter comes to you, and this is all hypothetical. It says, "Dad, this happened to me, and he's the person that did it." You would tell your daughter.
See, you didn't ask that. That's not the question you asking me. That is not the question.
Yeah, because you said they need to be convicted. You said they need to be convicted in order for you to determine that they shouldn't be hanging out with them.
You asked me if I would allow my daughter to be. I'm trying to, if you'd let me long enough. You asked me if I would allow my daughter to be with that person. You didn't ask if my daughter came to me and said this happened, if I would still let her be around him.
Okay.
No, if my daughter came to me and said, this guy did something to me, no, I would not let them be around him.
Okay, what if I came to you? What if I came to you and said this guy did something? Would you still let your daughter hang out with him?
Then I would go talk to the person. Then I would go talk to the person first because I'm not going to take your word for it because you could be lying.
Okay. And so you would allow your daughter to hang out with the person because in your mind, Zeus could be lying.
I didn't say that.
Okay, no.
I didn't say that.
Make your decision. Either you would let your daughter hang out with him because somebody told you this person was bad, and you would say, I'm not going to listen to this person, even though this person has a pretty good record for being accurate. You're going to go make the decision yourself. What kind of father are you?
Wait.
No. See, this
So
is
how
why I'm
do I
saying
know the person telling me?
this is why your wife does not want you in the house. This is why she doesn't want you in the house.
You twist everything.
Because
you're
you
twisting
will
it
never
again.
admit you're wrong.
You're twisting it again.
You'll never admit
You
you're
are
wrong.
twisting it again.
What did I
You're
twist wrong?
twisting it again. Why would I take someone's word who has absolutely
because
no
you want to
proof
protect your
back
daughter?
anything up? How do I know
Because you
that
want to
that
protect
person's
your
not
daughter.
lying? Hold on. Because I have no proof, I would go talk to that person.
What kind of
See,
sick
that's,
father
that's
does
how
that?
real adults do things. That's how real
You're a sick
adults do
person.
things. I would go, hey, I've heard this about you, and their body language and the way they talk would tell me if they're guilty or not. And if I think they're guilty, no, my daughter will not hang around them.
Okay, well,
But
what
if
if
I feel
hold on?
comfortable with it?
What if the person you went to talk to said something like this?
If Ivanka weren't my daughter, perhaps I'd be dating her.
Is that enough? Is that enough for you to say that that person is pretty much a bad person?
So what was the key words he said? Hold on.
No,
what was the key words
no.
he said there?
Okay.
No. What
Okay,
were the key
I'm gonna
words
play
he
it for
said
you.
there?
I'm gonna play it for you.
What were the key words?
No. Stop fighting this.
What
I'm
were
going
the
to play
key
it for
words?
you. Listen.
The key words, not my daughter. Hold on. The key words were not my daughter. See, that's how you twist things.
Wow.
Not my daughter.
So if it's someone else's daughter, it's okay.
If they're of age, yeah, why not?
You would hook up with one of your friend's daughters, even
if
if
she
they
was
were
18 and it was a mutual agreement. If she was over 18, yes.
No further questions.
Why not? They're 18. Why not?
No further questions.
Why not? If they're over 18, what is the problem?
I think I've heard enough this morning. I think I've heard enough. And there you have it. Just let them keep talking. Eventually, they tell on themselves. Every single time. Did you all hear that? The silly thing is, he really thinks that sounded great. Your mouth is moving faster than your brain, champ. And without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, you know what we must do. If I were you, Tiny Tank Top Tim, I wouldn't have sent that guest request up here and challenged to Big Zeus without digging a little deeper personally. You gotta clean this. I don't know how you're gonna clean this up, honestly. But that was one of the most disgusting things I've heard outside of you eating mustard for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Ladies and gentlemen, join me in sending Tiny Tank Top Tim Tom, who on Friday the 13th showed us all how evil and disgusting he really is. Join me in sending that demon straight to hell.
Silence, you MAGA demon.
And that's a huge W, Zeus. I'm really good at letting MAGA just dig themselves into a ditch, ladies and gentlemen, and exposing to the world who they really truly are. This man made so many excuses for Donald Trump. He ended up putting himself in the middle of the crimes. That's a huge W, Zeus. And like I said, Tiny Tank Top Tim, you forgot Donald Trump said this about you, and he was right.
You're either stupid or you hate the country.
We know it's both. And we know it's both. Because I don't even want to go any further, all right? Because I got to go. I want to give all of you who listened today, this show has been it's been magical today. I don't know what it was, but we confronted some real evil today, ladies and gentlemen. You all deserve a huge round of applause. Thank you to all the subscribers, gifters, moderators, and analysts, because without you, this show wouldn't be what it is. Entertaining, educational, and very engaging. Seriously. But on a serious note, ladies and gentlemen, we got to give one last round of booze and shame, and this goes out to all the Zeus haters out there. And the one who actually gets the Demon of the Day award, Tiny Tank Top Tim Tom. Demon of the Day award. I'm going to post this on YouTube, Tiny Tank Top Tim Tom. I need you to honestly go back and re-watch the conversation you and I had. All right? And understand, I was at least 5 to 10 moves ahead of you the entire time. And every little trap I set, you literally just jumped in it. Like, whoop, I'm in there, Zeus. Thank you. Whoop, I'm in there, Zeus. Because you can't outthink me. And you really put on display how incompetent and unintelligent you really are. And MAGA Queen, you were cheering this on. You and him both get in the ditch. Ladies and gentlemen, join me in sending them to hell one last time.
Silence, you MAGA demon.
And that's a huge W, Zeus. All right, ladies and gentlemen, have a great rest of your morning. Take care and stay safe. I'll see you all on the other side.
Yeah. Gotta wake the chain up. Get injected with some power.
Let's go, ladies and gentlemen.
Pull some strings. And level up like a king.
Let's go.
Came from the trenches, now we ballin' at the top.
Rizzler energy, presidential, watch the ops.
Drip too saucy,
got the fit, hitting real different. 1600 on the throne, now here looking brilliant. Let's go.
No skibidi.
I'm the goat, flow sharper than the blade. See how I did, Tiny? Take top tip. I hit him with it. He got a dose of the Rizzler this morning, ladies and gentlemen. Zeus, how did you hit me? You're over here, Zeus. How did you do all of that? Look. Watch the empire grow. Now my circle A1. This race is already won. W Marissa. He could never recover. Making history right here. Ops talking wild, but they cannot touch the throne. Posted in the Oval Office, trapping in the zone. Got my foot on the gas. I'm bulletproof. Yeah, my aura is built to last. Slap with the plan, moving chess, not checkers. Presidential flex.
Got my game on
Woo! This is the Rizzler, ladies and gentlemen. Hit him with it.
Drip too clean, get it poppin'.
We ain't gonna never stop. No cap, we live.
Go on the
1605.
We found it.
Posted it in the capital. Moving like I own the block. Risk game, presidential. Got the nation in a lock.
Got the annex, yeah,
No facade, drip celestial. Shining brighter than a star. You move the Cuba. Turn your dreams into chandeliers. Ops stay lurking. All the pressure, 1600. I'm the one flexing. I'm the new successor. Let's go. Trap soul in the White House. DC is the town. Woke up in the mansion. Views from the East Wing. Prime presidential. Got the pose in a climb. Turn the calm in the storm. Got the world dropping bombs like I'm reading out of Psalms. Ops trying to glitch, but my code is unbreakable. Skibidi through the storm, legacy unshakable. Hey, make the whole world flip.
Busting off the charts,
got the game in a trance. Drip too wavy, yeah, make you wanna dance. 1600 Pennsylvania, you know where it's at. Go on 1,000, 100, 1605, presidential W. And all right, I'm out of here, ladies and gentlemen. Take care. Have a great rest of your weekend and stay safe out there in these TikTok streets.